We talked yesterday about the horrifying mass shooting that occurred in Monterey Park, California, right next to Los Angeles. And 10 people, actually 11, ended up dying at this point in time and many others injured. Well, not too far from there, right as we were releasing that show, another mass shooting happened in Half Moon Bay, California, in the same state. And this is the third mass shooting in 3 days in California, and the 34th at least in our country since the beginning of the year, just 24 days ago. It is an epidemic, and it has to be addressed properly. The Washington Post writes, California has grappled with 3 mass shootings in 3 days that have left at least 19 people dead. Around the tranquil coastal town of Half Moon Bay, a pair of related shootings at 2 locations Monday killed 7 people and left 1 person critically injured. 7 dead in Half Moon Bay as California confronts another mass killing. It was California's 2nd mass killing and 3rd mass shooting in 3 days after a gunman shot down 11 people at a dance studio in Monterey Park just outside Los Angeles on Saturday. In Oakland, police said 1 person was killed and 7 others injured in a shooting between several individuals on Monday night, with homicide investigators taking over the ongoing investigation. So some will say, probably conservatives might have the thought, see, California, they have more restrictive gun laws and they're having mass shootings. So clearly gun regulation doesn't matter. This is why we talk about and push for regulation on a federal level, because it is not that difficult to hop from state to state. And what we see is when individuals want to get a gun that's not legal in their state, they just hop over to the other one and then come back. And so that's not necessarily what happened here. The specifics of that would need to be dived into. But if we are going to make real change on this issue, as we talked about yesterday with Monterey Park, there are so many different areas we have to address and confront. It's not just gun regulation, but gun regulation is included. And the reason why that is discussed so much is because that is where we are set apart from many of the other countries that don't deal with this problem. That is what makes us different than the others. Other countries also deal with mental health problems. They also deal with impoverished communities, all those things. This is where we are set apart so significantly. And then we also need to have better mental health better investment generally in our communities, so that the situation on the ground is not as likely to create a situation like this. And all of that needs to happen. But the one that is the most aggressively obstructed, even though many of them actually are obstructed by much of the Republican Party, is the gun regulation. That's why it's debated so much more extensively. And it is so saddening to watch shooting after shooting after shooting, and really no action on preventing this from continuing. One thing I'll add on the Monterey Park shooting that happened in California is the hero that stepped in and prevented further loss of life, as you'll see here.
Scouting.
And more harrowing accounts just 2 miles away, inside the Lele Ballroom and Studio in Alhambra. That's where the suspect showed up 20 minutes after his deadly rampage. Today I spoke with Brandon Say, seen on this surveillance video bravely taking on the gunman, disarming him before he could unleash more terror.
How did you decide what to do?
Well, there was a moment I actually froze up, because I had the belief that I was going to die. Like, my life was ending here at that very moment. But something amazing happened, a miracle actually. He started to try to prep his weapons so he could shoot everybody. But then it dawned on me that this was the moment to disarm him. I could do something here that could protect everybody. In one shove, I kind of just pushed him away and then quickly aimed the gun at him and shouted, "Go away, I'm gonna shoot. Get out here, go."
Are you pointing the gun at him as you're saying?
Yes, I was.
And then he called the police and prevented a lot more people possibly from getting killed. So incredible that individuals stepped up, but horrifying that we deal with this so many times, so many days, so many lives impacted. It's terrible. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get the extra bonus show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/LukeBeasley. That's patreon.com/LukeBeasley, and there's a link in the description.